Welcome back to your favorite channel, Trading Technicals. Now, as promised, I'll be explaining you more about Camarilla. We had covered some basics in the last video, and today I will explain you what are the relationships and how further we can trade on these levels, right? So we had some basic understanding of Camarilla that okay, H3 we are selling, L3 we are buying, H3, H4 becomes a breakout area, L4 becomes a breakdown area, right? And H5s and L5s are basically our targets in case of there is a breakout, right? So this is what we discussed in the last video. Now, further to that, if we analyze it little further, okay, as per the Frank Ruscia's book, uh, you would realize there are multiple facts on this particular thing. So many times you would have seen, like probably yesterday only, H4 had become a support, okay, or maybe H3 had become a support in some of the areas, right? So why this has happened? So basically for that there are different things which Frank Osho has explained, right? And what we need to understand and where exactly we have to take the trades and where exactly we can book our profits. All those things are there part of that book, right? So if you look at it, we will just analyze last 1 week ka trade. Okay, what exactly has happened and where exactly we can learn from these things, right? So we had a session on 25th, right? So 25th, if you look at it, this particular place, market opened exactly at the CPR level, okay, which was also our this is okay, so which was basically our L3 area, okay, and L3 area was rejected, and straight away it confirmed us that there are no buyers at this particular place, and the market reversed. Okay, so the first candle tried to, the buyers came, they tried to kind of defend this area. However, at the CPR level only, we have seen the rejection, the big rejection candle on the 5 minutes, and then market went down till the target. After target, again it came back to the same area, and again it came back towards our target area, right? So exactly this is what market exactly played on 25th of July. After that again, because it was a negative relationship again, we had a CPR through straight sell. So first candle itself was a confirmed sell. After that we had L4 breakdown, straight away the targets, first target, second target. So first target it reversed, again it went back to the same area of yesterday's low, and from there it got rejected, again it came back towards the target. So exactly our target 2 was also achieved. Okay, and last few days are actually very trending and good trading days. uh, so here again we saw, okay, it started with a negative relationship only, so it opened below CPR it got rejected, straight away went to L3. Now here what exactly happened, okay, this was a trend changing day, okay, exactly the trend was changed on this particular day, right? So here if you would have observed multiple times, we have seen earlier that L3 was getting sold. So basically there were no buyers. Here what has happened, if you would have observed this particular area, L3, the buyers came back, right? So this was a very good sign that there was a there was a good amount of buyers who came in, and they took the markets up again, right? And then it broke the CPR. H3 was also not respected because there were no sellers, and then the market went up till almost H5, which is our target, right? So after breakout, if at all you would have held it, you would have got your target. Next day, again trending day, positive day, trend was changed here because certain criteria will change, and hence we had breakout opening, then market came down, took the support at this particular place, and after that again trending day. Again next day it opened only at the target, it basically opened H4, then straight away went to the target, came down H4, again reversed back and went again back to the target, right? So this is what exactly Camarillas were actually telling us, and exactly we supposed to be trading on these Camarilla levels, right? So now we will understand one basic concept here. is 2 day relationship of Camarilla. Okay, just the way we have 2 days relationship with CPR, if at all somebody has followed CPR, right? You would know there are 2 days relationship of CPR which can actually give us the trend confirmation, right? So, similar ways we have Camarilla relationship also, right? So, what we need to understand here, okay? So, as per the book of Frank Oshua, if you understand, there are certain things which he has given, right? So basically, higher values which are there, which is bullish. Overlapping values is moderately bullish. Lower values bearish. Overlapping lower values moderately bearish. Unchanged value sideways or breakout area. Outside value sideways, and inside value breakout. Okay. Now understand these particular concepts. Okay, this is basically unchanged value. So what is it saying? Unchanged value is basically either it will become sideways or it will give you a breakout. Okay, so this day is important. Okay, what is outside value? Outside value is basically first day relationship, which is basically it was a smaller H3 L3 relationship. Next day we had a wider one. So what is it saying? Outside relationship is basically, outside value is basically sideways market, right? Then we have a day which is inside value. Inside value is basically breakout. Okay, and then what is happening? Higher values, it's a bullish. Overlapping higher value is moderately bullish. Lower value is bearish. So these are the important things which we need to consider. Okay, so we know what is exactly we can expect, or whether it is a buy on dips market or sell on rise market. Okay, so this is what we need to understand from the market point of view, right? Now, if you would have seen, okay, now just observe these particular things. Okay, so we had, so I'll switch off everything else. I'll just show you what is that I'm trying to explain you. Okay, now we have only two values which are easier for us to understand. Okay, now what is happening? Okay, there are certain things which is taken from the book, certain observations I have it. Okay, now look at these 2 days relationship. Okay, so we had a relationship which is, one was the H3 and L3. So basically this was narrow, just like a narrow CPR, right? Narrow H3 and L3. So we were expecting some kind of trending day next day, and we had a trending day as well. Okay, so what has happened exactly? So now this relationship, if you would have seen this relationship, this one was telling us it's a bullish market, right? So every dip which is coming in is a buying opportunity for me, right? So whatever H3 it came, H3 I wouldn't have sold here because it's a bullish market, right? So I would look out for an opportunities to even buy at these levels, right? So if at all it is broken here, okay, it has broken, it has come down, right? So now what has happened? It has again reversed and gone back because sellers were not aggressive here and the buyers were aggressive. So buyer took the market up, okay, and it almost closed it at a day's high, right? The next day again we had, it's like a moderately bullish scenario, right? But what has happened? Ideally, it is a buy on dips market for me, right? So I will look out for a buying opportunity because this 2 day relationship is still bullish for me, right? So I would have looked at buying opportunity. But now what has happened here? It is basically, it is not even. So here first SL would have hit for me, okay, because L3 is what would have been a buying area for me. However, it has hit my SL and it has come down, right? Now when it is coming down, now H5 or L5, okay, L5 was basically, L5 would have been somewhere here, okay, or some zone here it would have been, okay, so that would have been the major support or a trend reversal area. So that particular place I would have still looked at a buying opportunity, or else I have to consider one thing. Now here if I add CPR would have been somewhere around this area, right? So if at all my CPR is basically also confirming, there is a possibility of a day trend changing, because if at all my L3 is not being considered as a buying zone, and if it is getting as a sell zone, and if this is the particular candles things are happening, if my market is not sustaining in the first half, this relationship is bullish, but my market is not sustaining at L3, so basically buyers are not present at this place, right? So even this scenario also, it becomes a sell on rise market, right? This relationship also is still a positive, right? But when this trend has changed here, okay, the next day relationship become bearish, right? So next day when it opened, it has become bearish. My H3 L3 has become bearish, it is below, right? So this will become selling opportunity, it achieved a target, right? Again this place also, again similar kind of thing. But what has changed here now, if at all this is bearish, and my trend, if at all I'm seeing at L3, there is a buying coming in, that is confirming me that there is a possibility of a trend change in this scenario. Okay, and once it is taking out all the sellers in this area, right? So this is the possibility of me getting a higher trade, and this particular place, the market exactly changed its trend, right? And next day again above H4 only, so basically it is a buy on every dip. So H4 only, if it is open, it is a straight away trending day for me, I can go ahead and buy. Now in this scenario, it is opened above H3 only, so anything which is coming below at around this level, it would be a buying opportunity, right? So somewhere it went to H4, and H4 become a buying opportunity. So basically what happens is your earlier trend, okay, is gonna give you a confirmation where exactly you have to buy or sell. It is not about straight away H3 I get and I sit and sell there, right? So if you would have sold here in a general scenario, if you would have sold here, your SL is gonna hit, right? But if I have 2 days relationship, it will also give me what kind of confirmations are there. Also you need to understand, if at all this area is been taken out, there is a high possibility in this kind of trend, there is a high possibility that sellers are getting overpowered here, right? So if at all I'm getting overpowered buyers, sellers, then possibility is there it is going to become trendy, because it is going to trap all the sellers at this point, right? So this is the logic we need to understand before before we get into any kind of Camarilla trading. So Camarilla, it is not so easy that we look at L3 H3 and we buy and sell, okay? So you need to do more practice, you need to do more observations, and it will give you a proper ideas where exactly to buy or sell. But if you look at it, even if you look at it, consider this as a proper support and resistance areas, you would see multiple times market is taking supports or resistances at exactly on these points only. Okay, here also if you combine it with your uh, CPR, you would also have an additional confirmation. Okay, so first thing we considered is L3 H3 relationship, whether it is bullish or bearish. Now second thing is just like a narrow CPR and narrow ranges, right, on CPR or wide CPR, we consider that as a narrow CPR is basically a breakout or a big trending day, right? And if it is a wide CPR, we consider as a sideways day. Okay, but similar ways we also can understand whether it is a trending day or whether it is a sideways day. Okay, now look at these relationship between H3 and L3. Okay, H3 L3, if at all this is narrow, this is like an RCPR, right? Camarilla CPR basically. So if at all we have narrower thing, narrow relationship between these, we can expect good trending days. Okay, now here if you look at it, till here also it is still a narrow one. Now it is becoming little wider, so we are expecting one sideways movements for few days probably, and then we can expect again, means if at all the markets are opening very high, then possibility is that it has to retrace back and it has to go. As per the price action trend also, it is constantly running in the straight way. Probably this one was a consolidation area, again we have got a breakout somewhere, and then the trend has to continue with this. Okay, now with this if you would have understood these particular things, probably we will cover more on Camarilla. So these are just we have just started getting into the understanding of complete Camarilla. So Camarilla, if you look at these relationships, it will give you added advantage. You would not sell at H3 when the trend is positive. You will not sell at, you will not buy at L3 when the trend is negative, right? So you need to understand today's relationship also somewhere, which will give you added advantage or an added edge somewhere. Okay, so these particular things, please keep a watch. Okay, so also you keep a watch on your yesterday's high and low as well. Okay, that will also become a reversal point in certain areas, because if you look at these areas, right, so wherever you have high and lows which are coming closer to that area, it will also act as a major support or resistance. So that areas also you can consider and hold these particular things. So we will consider more understanding on Camarilla in the next sessions, but please practice on these zones, and it will help you to make big out of this particular thing. Only thing is you need to practice these zones and understand where exactly you can get these trades. So that's it guys from my side. If you like this video, if you find this is useful information for your trading, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, please share it with your friends as well. Thank you guys.